Spindletop by Colby McBurdy. History 3083, Professor Turney. Why Spindletop? I chose to do Spindletop due to my family's deep ties to the oil and gas industry in East Texas. With our ranch being in Henderson, Texas, I grew up seeing oil and gas wells springing up on our property and throughout the surrounding areas. With Spindletop being one of the key factors in the Texas oil and gas industry explosion, this essentially is what brought my family to Texas. So this topic ties into the roots of my family tree. Even so, that my great-great-great-grandma has a section in the East Texas Oil and Gas Museum in Kilgore, Texas, dedicated for her story. P.S. She killed 3 men that had killed her first husband. What was Spindletop? The Lucas Well at Spindletop Oil Field is located in Beaumont, Texas, that was discovered in 1901. The Lucas Well was headed by the Gladys Oil Company and Salt Dome Formation expert Anthony Lucas. After months of drilling and little money left, Lucas found the only men in town that would invest: John Gailey and James Guffey. With Lucas hoping that there was oil, they dug once more to a depth of 1,139 feet, and this time would be the story we all know today. Continued. On January 10th, 1901, mud began bubbling from the drill hole. Seconds later, workers began running away. Quote, as 6 tons of 4-inch drilling pipe came shooting up out of the ground after several minutes of quiet, mud, then gas, then oil spurted out, end quote. The Lucas Geyser blew over 100 feet into the air. It was capped 9 days later after it had poured over 900,000 barrels of oil onto the Texas countryside. Before it was even capped, the Texas oil boom had already started. Texas oil migration. The boom included an influx of hundreds of eager wildcatters, including former Texas Governor James Stephen Hogue. Lusting after a piece of the action, as well as thousands of workers looking for a job, right behind them came a tidal wave of related service, supply and manufacturing firms such as refineries, pipelines, and oil field equipment manufacturers and dealers. It was California's fabled gold rush 50 years earlier, repeated on the Texas Gulf Coast, with rotary drill bits and derricks instead of pickaxes and gold pans. Texas Almanac. Economic impact. The impact of the Spindletop oil boom led to the migration of oil-hungry entrepreneurs, leading to the Texas oil economy we all know today. In total, the Texas oil industry brings in roughly 1.85 billion barrels of oil annually, around $144 billion before taxes, expenses, and royalties. The Texas oil boom, due to Spindletop well, has borne many Texans on the Forbes list, such as the Hunt family, valued around $10 billion, the Bass family, valued around $13 billion, and the Hildebrand family, valued around $6 billion. There are many companies we know today that were rooted in the Spindletop well. The Texas company, known as Texaco, which was bought out by Chevron in 2000, sold for $45 billion. Other companies such as the Gulf Oil Corporation, which is valued at $390 million, the Sun Oil Company, known as Sunoco, valued at $4.4 billion, Magnolia Petroleum Company, valued at $4.43 billion, Humble, formerly known as Esso, and now is known as the Exxon Company, is valued at a whopping $398.04 billion. Due to all the oil being drilled, sulfur became in abundance, and the Texas Gulf and Sulfur Company, known as TexGulf, exploded, and was sold for an undisclosed amount to a French oil brand, name unknown, now known as Total Energies. Sources include Lamar, Texas Historical Association, and the Texas Almanac.